I really would like to stick to free range stuff. And so
it's course basically it's seminar in the morning, and then you're going out and hunting in the afternoon. Is that how it works?
Yeah. Yep. And if we might do a little hunting in the morning too, but that's basically the idea, like morning / midday seminar stuff, and then apply it to the hunts. And then of
And
course, like in any of these situations, you start harvesting animals. There's a component there, of
breaking the animal down and
yeah, new stuff you're going to learn that you wouldn't if we didn't harvest animals, but that kind of pushes the syllabus around a little bit, if that makes sense.
Is the success rate pretty high in those?
Yeah, it's the other thing is the bear hunts, the success rate's pretty darn high,
Yeah, which is nice.
even on public land. I mean, you're gonna have like your hot, weeks that are, on fire, and then you're gonna have your, there's variability to it for sure, because they're free range hunts, and they can just be dependent on weather and that sort of thing. If you're getting into certain areas early or late, that deal. But in general, people are gonna have opportunities. Whereas, elk hunts are that's the other thing about wilderness elk hunts. It's hard to lay in the seminar component of it because you don't have time for that.
Because you're
You know what
humping
I
to try to find the elk.
Yeah, you got to
Yeah.
maximize. You got to maximize hunting. So anyways, that's kind of the long story of that. But I'm working on expanding that concept
Mm-hmm.
to even to worlds that I'm not the expert in, Eric. Like I'm working with a guy here in Puerto Rico on the spearfishing front who's like highly capable. He's been doing it for 20 years, and we're working on like the same concept. It's going to be a 4 or 5 day like all inclusive thing. And in that world, it's even worse because there's the prerequisites can be really scary to people. If you've never dove, you spent very little time in the ocean, like it's really hard for somebody to just go spearfishing.
Yeah.
So that's like another opportunity that I'm working on right now.
So are you going to do you have fall hunts that you're doing those courses with too? Like mule deer or some other kind of, is there a species that's conducive to that kind of training / hunting in the fall, or is it going to be mostly spring bear stuff?
I would think that in the future, that as I shift this business idea into, as I grow it, I'll for sure do stuff in September because there's so many different things to hunt. It's just that same dynamic is like the whole hunting industry. That's when the Western hunting industry, 80% of, when I say industry, I mean like the operators of guided hunts, the ranches, all that stuff.
Yeah.
They're making 80% of their revenue in September.
I believe it.
So the extent that I can do this, do odd ad stuff in January in Texas or whatever, that's probably more of the stuff I'll grow.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm assuming, well, I'll let you tell me, but as somebody who's pretty new, like I see so much value in that because it's just, you want to talk about shortening the learning curve. Like you can watch YouTube videos and you can talk to people, but you still have to go out there and you got to put your boots in the ground, and it's a whole different world when you do that versus like this kind of opportunity where you can go out, put your boots on the ground, and have somebody really put hands on, and actually, okay, you spend time talking about it or clinicking or whatever you want to call it. Like this literally comes back to my coaching background. This like sounds like a coaching clinic.
Sure.
Right. But you're clinicking in the morning, and then you're taking them out and you're putting those things into practice in the afternoon. Like it's a really, really good concept. And from somebody who wants to learn as fast as they can and really shorten the learning curve, like the value is super high in that.
Yeah, no, yeah.
It's
I
a
hear
great idea. I love it.
No, I appreciate it, man. The other thing that I noticed over the years of being in like, more of the traditional guiding side of things is that like on this deal, the expectation is that I want to learn and I want it to be totally fine for me to nag you with questions. Right. Yep. And it sounds like, well, why couldn't I just do that on a guided hunt? Or, well, why don't I just decide I'm going to do that on a guided hunt? I've been there, and it's hard because if the guide doesn't understand that that's the program and the expectation, it's hard. It in a lot of situations, it's very hard to ask questions. It doesn't feel comfortable. It's not what the program is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
No,
yeah. Does that make sense?
No, it makes total sense. Like I put it in for guided in New Mexico, but when I was talking to different guides, that was like literally what I said to them was my primary focus in this is to learn how to hunt out west. And
Yeah.
yeah, I would like to harvest something, but if you make me choose one over the other, I want it to be a learning experience. And so, like, I wanted to make sure that they were cool with that. It wasn't just like, let me go get something as fast as I can, get you a good kill so I can be done.